Okay. Hey, everybody. I'm going live. I'm just going to wait for you guys to join me. Let's see somebody comment, I hope. Okay, so it's up and running. I just have to wait for you guys to find me. It can take a bit. Oh, Ellie's here. Hi, Ellie. Oh, great. Hi, Sarah. Okay, so this is a brand new platform that I'm using, you guys. So you are my guinea pigs today. So I've got my fingers crossed that I'm not going to lose connection and that everything's going to be okay. But if it goes wonky, I will just come on again and keep going. So the new platform I'm using is called StreamYard. And I think the reason that I can see your comments, which is awesome, is because I do my lives to my Facebook page, which is an open forum. It's not a group. If we were in a group, you'd have to give permission to StreamYard so that I could see your comments. But I'm so excited because I can see your comments. So I can see Ellie and I can see Sarah. And so now I just need to know, can you hear me? So if you can let me know if you can hear me, because I can't have my speakers on because it'll be just a whole bunch of feedback. So if you could let me know that you can hear me, I'd really appreciate it. So I'll just wait a couple of seconds. Somebody's saying yes. Excellent. Thanks, Ellie. Okay, you guys. So we might as well get started. People will join us. I'm sure. Let's start. Yep, great sound. Good. Thank you, guys. Okay, so my new platform allows me to welcome you and so you can see me, and I just feel it's a little bit more interactive than just, hey, here's my hands. But it allows me to go over and show you my workspace. So let's go over there and start our cart. And here we are. Isn't that fun? Okay. So let's go over here, and hopefully I'm not going to lose you. Hi, Wanda. Nice to see you. Hi, Carly. Okay, so far so good. So Wanda and Carly, you've joined me late. There is I'm using a new platform. So it allowed me to welcome you with my face. So I'll go back over here so I can say hello to you guys. Hello. Okay, and now I'm just gonna go back over here. Okay, so that's great. Anyway, let's start. So today I wanted to share a card made with the Harvest Meadow Suite. It's on page 54, 55 of the mini catalog. Okay, love, love, love this suite. I love it so much that Patsy and I have chosen this suite collection for our free PDF products for, oh gosh, what month are we in? For September, right? Okay. So let me show you the products that come in this suite. Okay. First of all, we have always the star of the show, is usually the stamps and the die. So the bundle, and here we are. So we've got the Nature's Harvest stamp set and the Harvest dies. So it's really cool when you can cut things out, right? So that makes it so easy with your emboss machine. Okay. Then we also have the Time Worn. Let me just move that. Time Worn Type 3D embossing folder. I'm not going to be using this today, but it is an awesome folder. It's sort of like a very vintage looking folder. It's words, and then it's kind of been roughed up. I don't know how else to describe it. I guess it's time worn. Makes sense, right? So that's a 3D one, which gives a really nice deep impression. Then we've got our designer series paper. This is our Harvest what's it called? Let me just get the proper name. Probably Harvest Meadow. Harvest Meadow. Yep. So here we go. So with all our papers, we always have 6 designs on one side. And then when you flip it over, you get 6 different designs on the other side. Love the colors. Very soft, right? This is very much like the time-worn embossing folder, right? So same idea, words with sort of these blotches, which is kind of nice. Love the colors. Okay, so you get 12 by 12. Okay, so I'm just gonna, because it's a new platform, you guys, I'm just gonna keep checking to make sure that you guys are there. I can see that some of you commented earlier, but if you wouldn't mind just commenting now again, so I can see that you can see me and hear me. Okay, I'll keep going. I'll watch the screen to make sure. If just one of you could just say, oh, hi, Gail. Thank you. I'm glad you got my show too. Excellent. So Gail, I was just saying that I'm using a new platform today, which I'm really excited about. Hi, Kathy. I'm really excited because check this out. If I go back over here, you can see me and I can say hello. So I like this. So now I can flip between my face and my project. So I like that. So I hope you do too. Okay, so let's start. The first thing I want to do is I'm going to use this image, which is like an echinacea plant. At least that's what I call it. So these could be a black-eyed Susan, actually, or an echinacea. So you could do them in purples or yellows or pinks. There's lots of color that you could use for this. I'm going to grab a piece of cardstock, basic white, and I am going to put a piece of paper underneath because I'm going to be using my blends. Okay, so here we go. Because remember, when you use blends, it goes through the paper as it should, and you want to just protect your surface. So I've got my Memento ink, which is the water-based ink that you want to use with your alcohol inks. Okay. When I have a big stamp like that, I tend to put it face up and then add my ink. I just kind of rub it over because this type of pad is a harder pad. So it's not like the soft pads that we have for colors. You don't want to rub that over a stamp because you might damage your stamp pad. Okay, so there we go. I always like to let it sit for just a minute so that it doesn't bleed as much. All right. Now for colors, I'm going to use quite a few colors actually. So for my flowers, I'm going to start with, I pulled 3 yellows. I pulled a light daffodil, a dark so saffron, and then I think this is a dark daffodil. So you can see that you've got the 3 hues here. Hi, Sylvan. Hi, Gloria. Hi, everybody. So I'm going to start with the light daffodil. Okay. And so the first thing I'm going to do is just lay some color. I'm actually going to use the bullet end. You know, on these, you have the bullet end and then you have the brush end. And of course, if you were doing this at home, I was doing it without being on camera, I might spend a great deal of time laying the color and adding more color and so on. But in the interest of time, I'm just going to hurry it along a little bit. Okay, so can you see that I haven't really colored to the end of my flowers? Sort of left a little bit of white, and that's okay, right? And I'm just going to move this up. I see that I'm a little out of camera because this is my new webcam, so I'm not used to it, you guys. So today you are my guinea pigs. You truly, truly are. Okay, so now I've got a darker color, and I want to lay that dark color. If I can get the lid off. Yep. I want to lay that dark color just sort of at the top of my flower, and maybe my petals here, and sort of bring it down a little bit. Just a little bit. So really spending a lot more time at the top here with my flowers. My daughter is an artist. There is no question she is an artist. And so she's been living with us during COVID because normally she lives in Toronto, but she's been out here because she can work from home here. And I finally asked her the other day if she could teach me some tips. And so she's so sweet. We've been working. She's been working and being very patient with her mother. Now she says what you should do. Now this is a very small image, so it's a little bit harder to see. But if you have a large area, what you want to do is add that darker and then use your lighter to pull it down. Pull it down into the blend it, so to speak. And the good news is because it's this is such a small image, such small petals, that you can't see as much of the blending, right? It's just kind of an easier. Okay. So you sort of get that idea on that one. All right. Next, I want to add a little bit of a darker color, actually. And I had dark pale papaya, light pale papaya, and light pumpkin pie. And sometimes what I do is I just go like this. Now that's the pumpkin pie. I think that's a bit too dark. And that's not bad. That's the dark pale papaya. That's a hard thing to say. And this is the light. I think I'm going to go with the dark pale papaya. I think it's dark enough. And I'm just going to add a little bit of it for accent down the petals. And like I said, this is such a small image that it's almost it's just difficult to see, right? So I'm just going down to the tip here. I will promise that once Carly has me coloring perfectly, I will do like a sunflower, one of our, that sunflower stamp set that we have. Okay, and then I'm going back in with the light daffodil. Okay, so you've got layers of color. My daughter says you just don't want it to look like flat. Okay. Okay. I think I will add a little bit to this part, making it a little bit darker. All right. Okay, so that's what I've got so far. Okay. Oh, hi, Noelle. And now I'm going to add some Crumb Cake. So again, I'm starting with that light color. And I could have gone really dark on these, made them a real Black-Eyed Susan. Or Rudbeckia, is that what it's called when it's its proper name? I used to know all the names of the flowers. I'm really bad. I'm going to lay some dark down here. So this is a darker crumb cake, so just at the base there. And again, go in with your light and just blend that in so you blur those lines and you don't have that stark difference between the light and the dark. Okay. That's the beauty of blends. You can go in and blend. Okay. All right. Next, I've got greens. So here's my greens. I went with dark soft sea foam and light soft succulent and dark mint macaron. And my daughter tells me, you don't have to stay with the same color group. You want a light, a medium, and a dark. Okay. So I do what she tells me. So I'm going with the light. The card today's got some coloring. It's going to have some embossing. We kind of got it all going here. I'm not too worried about going off out of the lines because we are going to cut this out with the matching die. So I'm not too concerned about that. I'm just laying down some color. Okay. So that's my light. Now I'm going to go in and add some dark. So I'm going to go with the light succulent, I think. I hope it's not too dark. Nope, I like it. Okay, so I'm just going on the veins there. Okay, and then again, you're going to go in and take your light one and go back over it just to blend it in. Okay. Now, some people say it doesn't matter if you let it dry. We were told originally that don't let it dry, work on small bits. My daughter says it is best if you don't let it dry completely because then you can blend it better. Okay, then a tip she gave me was, she said to add some highlights. So I'll show you what this looks like so far. Hopefully you can see this. I think I'm getting that off screen. I have to be better at bringing this into you guys into my screen. Okay. She said to take a color that kind of contrasts. So I've got light smoky slate. And then what she said was, you want to add a little bit. This was such a fun thing she showed me. I'm trying to remember all the places she told me to leave it. She was watching. Needed a. And she says if you kind of just do it in the places that were it. So I've got it a bit here and a bit there, and you probably can't see it as much on your end, but it just adds a little bit of shadow to that area. So I thought that was a cool trick. All right. So that's kind of what I'm going to do. If I was, like I said, if I was doing this and I was just having a fun day of coloring, I would spend more time on it, right? So the fabulous dies, here they are. I'm going to pull this one out, which cuts it out. Isn't that great? Bring in my little mini boss. Here it is. I'm going to wait for my camera to catch up because, as I said, I'm now on a webcam as opposed to my phone. So I'm not quite sure how this looks exactly. So I'm just going to make sure. Okay, you can't see it all, but you can hopefully see enough. All right, so I'm just going to put that down like that and then cut it out. Okay. So lay that on my cutting plate. Now, if I was doing this and you guys weren't watching me, I'd just go for it. But because I'm on a live and I don't have the luxury of going back and starting again with this, I'm going to tape it down. And I'm just using double-sided tape because I just don't want it to move. Okay, this is the tape in case you guys are looking for it on Amazon. I think it's $4. And you get a whole roll of it. Hi, Lisa. Welcome. Starting, probably not for a couple weeks until I get used to this new system that I'm using for filming, I'm going to start to simultaneously record on YouTube, my YouTube channel, and right here. So if you're a YouTube person, you can watch it there. And if you're not, you can watch it here. Okay. So here we go. And this just pops out like so. Isn't that great? I love how our dies cut out these bits, right? Isn't that great? Okay. So that even looks better once it's cut out, I think. All right. And so I am notorious for losing dies. I'm going to put that right back where it belongs. Now, I want another die. So I'm going to grab any of these, but I kind of like this grass. It's very delicate. It's a very delicate die. So it may take a bit to just poke out the bits. Now, one product I forgot to show you that's part of the suite is this amazing cork. It literally looks like cork. It's almost like a cork veneer. It's a very thin, you can see how thin it is, but it's got texture and it's got dimension. As you can see here, it's sort of like a gold accent almost. Love it. Oh, hi, Patrice. Oh my gosh, how nice to see you. Christina, welcome. Okay, so I'm going to cut this die that we talked about out of my cork. Patrice was one of my very first hostesses many years ago. So like 18 years ago, 19 years ago, a long time ago. She was one of my first. Okay. And then I found that this is such a delicate paper that I have to be extreme. Oh, hello from Massachusetts. Oh, beautiful part of the United States. So I guess it's not quite fall there yet where your tree's turning, right? Not quite. It's turned quite autumny here, but not in a bad way because we've had 3 bouts of heat waves, which we can never get used to here because none of us, well, most of us do not have air conditioning. It's just not something we have in Vancouver. Although I'm thinking that most people will be running out and getting it for next year. So we're happy to sort of see the end of it. So that's the 2 pieces that I wanted to stamp and die cut. And before I finish, I also want to stamp a word. So let me grab a piece of scrap. I've got Mango Melody, 80 degrees. Yeah, that's not fall. Your trees won't be turning for a month at least, eh? Maybe even a month and a half. Okay, so I'm just going to stamp thank you, and that is in Mango Melody. And look at this. These dies are so fun. They come with 2 labels too, right? So because we have long words here. So these words will actually fit in this long piece, which is great. So I'm going to use the smaller one for the thank you. Okay. Normally my lives, you guys, are about 25 to 30 minutes. I try and not make them too long because I appreciate that you've got, time and you got your time that you need. Oh, hi, Corrine. Thanks for coming. Okay, so I'm just going to cut this out with my little emboss machine. But today we might be just a titch longer because I am going to emboss some things, and that might take a little bit more time. So hopefully that's okay with you guys. Okay. Hi, Jennifer. Did I already say hi to you? If I didn't, hello. All right. Now that's all our cutting. Okay. So now I can put all those pieces aside. Next up, here is the main part of my card. I've cut this to 5 by 3 3/4. Okay, so a little bit smaller than a normal first layer. And what we're going to do is we're going to stamp this image and emboss it in white. And then we're going to add some colors so that it pops up. And it's called Emboss Resist, which is a really fun technique. Okay, so let's stamp a few of these. I'm going to do that. Now, you won't be able to see these very well because, of course, it's just Versamark ink, which is like a clear ink. But once we put the embossing powder on, you'll be able to see it. So there's 2 types of people who emboss. Hi, Helen. There is the dumpers and the dippers. I am a dumper, meaning that I leave it in the original container, dump it on, tap it off on a scrap, put it back in. Okay. If you're a dipper, you might be using a shallow Tupperware type container, throw your embossing powder in, and then you just kind of dip. Okay. But I'm a dump. And make sure I get it everywhere I want. All right. Yep, that looks good. And then I'm going to take this and put it back in. Remember that commercial with Crisco? It all goes back except 1 tablespoon. Remember that? I'm dating myself. All right. So now I've got this. You can't really see it, I don't think. I'm going to hold up and see. Hi, Diane. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm glad you didn't miss the whole thing, but you can go back and watch the beginning once I finish, okay? Okay, so you can't really see this. Trust me, it's here and it's embossed, okay? So if you've never embossed before, this is our emboss, our heat gun, and it's got 2 settings, low and high. And you want to use high for paper, for cardstock, okay? And what you're doing is you're heating this until it melts and then raises up. It's kind of cool, okay? And I do it by starting in one corner and then gradually as it cooks, moving it across my paper. I don't go like this. If you go like a magic wand, you will heat and then move you'll move to the next section before it has a chance to actually set, and then it kind of can be a mess. Okay, so we're just going to do this. This won't take very long. And again, you might not be able to see this. I'm probably going to stop talking so that I can just get this going here. So it's starting to cook, and as it does, I'm just moving up my paper. And I know that there's a bit of a shadow, so you might not be able to see.
but you'll be able to see it in a minute because I'm going to add some color. Okay. I think that looks good. Oh, a little bit down there. All right, so when I first learned how to stamp, my sister Mo taught me how to do this because it was the coolest thing to emboss things. And I literally set the paper on fire several times, like burnt paper. It was crazy. Anyways, we're going to take some Pool Party and one of our blending brushes, and I'm going to load this up. Okay, now I don't want to just daub it on. I don't want to just go like this. I'll show you, because you end up getting it darker in certain places. So resist that. And then I'm just going to very lightly start on my paper. And I'm going to just make small circles. And I'm keeping it even. And see how I'm holding my brush? I'm holding it by the actual head so that I'm not getting a lot of movement. I just want to keep it really the same. I'll put this under so I can go off the edge here. Just at the same pressure. Okay. What happens is the embossing powder resists the ink. So the ink will be behind your image that you embossed. Isn't that cool? So you just keep adding ink until you get the desired color or depth of color that you want. You can always add more. It's a little difficult to take it off. In fact, pretty impossible. Okay, so I like that. It's got a nice little hue to it. Okay, I'm going to hold it up in a sec. And then what you want to do is grab a piece of tissue. In this case, it's a piece of paper towel. I'm going to hold that up so you can see. Okay, can you see the blue there? So that's pretty good, but if you take your paper and you actually go over your image, give it a little rub, it will take the blue off of the white embossing powder and just make it pop. Okay? Oh, I see that my camera's flipped, so I'm just going to make sure that I'm... There we go. For those of you joined late, oh, it's still showing like a weird thing. Oh, well, that's okay. No biggie. I'm going to do that. Should only be showing my solo. There, we're back to normal. For those of you who join me, no, I didn't, Christina. It's okay if I did. But I'm just learning this brand new platform that I'm using where I can show my face to say hello and goodbye and then show my desktop. So you guys are my guinea pigs today, okay? So that's why. No idea why it did that. Hi, Linda. No idea. It just had a mind of its own and thought, I'm just going to go crazy, okay? So let's put our card together. The first thing I want to put on here is earlier I cut out that very, very delicate wheat image from the cork paper, okay? Yes, you can see me because I'm going to come on and say goodbye. I'm a little concerned today. I've been practicing, and it took a long time to get my webcam going and not be blurry, and my husband has been helping me, thank goodness, and it took a village, you guys. It really took a village. Some of these, oh, that glue doesn't want to come out. Need a new glue. Sometimes technology is not our friend, right? Oh my gosh. I'm trying to find my new one. Come on, here it is. And when that happens, all you can do is kind of laugh and say, oh, well, what are you going to do, right? Hi, Mary. You can't, what's the word? Sweat the small stuff. Because the most important thing is for me to share stamping with you guys, right? So if your technology goes a little wonky, say C'est la vie. Oh, this is a brand new white glue, so I see it came out there a little bit too. The best thing to do with this white glue is to add little dots of glue. This is an extremely delicate piece. What I could have done was I could have put it on one of our adhesive strips. So you apply the cork to the adhesive backed sheets that we have that are for the emboss machine. And then you run it through, and then when you peel it off, the glue's already on the whole thing. You should have done that. Do that next time. But why not be challenged, right? So I'm going to put this on. Now, it's longer than what I need. So I want to position it so it's a little bit off the end here. There we go. Just press that down. And that's okay because I'm just going to trim that off. Okay. Hi, Connie. Who else do I haven't said hello? If I said hello to you, Brenda, I'm not sure. Hello, welcome you guys. Okay, here we go. Then I've got our colored echinacea here. But this one I want to pop up. So I'm going to use my mini Stampin' Dimensionals because I can get into smaller areas with them. Okay. Got a bit of a large one on the heads of these flowers, but it's all right. I find too that the mini ones aren't as thick as the regular ones. So you get a pop-up, but it's not like a huge pop-up. Does that make sense? We'll take this off. Dimension is always good on a card, right? It can add so much, and all you have to do is use Stampin' Dimensionals. I got all of them off. Yep. Okay. So now we're just going to lay that on here. Just offset a little bit, I think. Yeah, how's that? I think that's good. And then again, I want to be cutting this off. Okay. Whenever you do artwork and it goes off the page like that, it kind of draws the eye out. And that's always a good thing too. So you can still see that embossed part, right? Now, this is the ribbon that goes with the suite. It's gorgeous. It is called Diamond Weave a Ribbon, and it is 3/8 of an inch. Isn't that pretty? Love it. I'm not going to use it today, but I wanted to show you. It goes with the suite. I am going to use some of the baker's twine, or baker's twine. And there's 5 different colors. I'm going to use this one here. Okay. And all I'm going to do is wrap it around my fingers 3 times. Not even 2 times, 2.5 times. Whew. Okay. And then pull it off. Can you see that? I'll start again. So I've got my piece. I'm just going to wrap it around my finger. And then because of the way it was on its little spool, it automatically kind of rolls, which is fine. That's what I want. Okay, so that's what I want. And then I'm going to look for my tape. Very high tech. Got Scotch tape. I want a little bit of Scotch tape because I want to glue this down. Okay, like so. And then I want to put that on like that. Okay. And then I can trim this little puppy off. Okay. Sound good so far? Everybody still with me? Okay. Now, for different layers, you could add some designer series paper, like I have here. Or I could have added it 1 layer lower, right? Could sort of add that. I don't know what I want to do. If I want to do it like that or without. What do you guys think? With or without? Here's what we're going to put the word on. And then we're going to layer it on some black. So let me get everything and you guys can tell me what you think. So here's one option. We've got the background here, right? Or I could take some of the designer series paper and just put it on here like that. Get my wheat going the right way. Just a sec here. And then add my words, whoops, on top of that. So those are the choices. Anybody have an opinion about what we should do? DSP, no DSP. Anybody? I'll give you a second to catch up. Because Facebook, no DSP, just thank you. Without. So I got 2 withouts. Sounds like the withouts is what we want to do. So less kind of, you can see the twine better. Yeah. Oh, we got 1 DSP. Well, Corinne, I've got a treat for you. And Sarah, I do have another sample and I'll show you them both. But for this one, we'll just do this. How's that? And let's give him a pop-up. Yeah, it seems more people are no. Show you one with a DSP so you can have a look at it. Okay. And you can see more of the twine, which is kind of cool, isn't it? So let's put this on because we got a lot of things going on this card, don't we? All right. This layer here is just 1/8 of an inch bigger than the white. So that would be 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. Okay, so I just wanted a little border, nothing too huge, but it pops up the black. Okay, and then for the base, I went really kind of wild. I went with mango. What do you think? Love. Okay, so let's put that on. All right. So there is one option. And then the second option looks, oh, hi, Kathy. This is the second option. Oh, I forgot. Oh, my goodness. Let's add some bling. Holy Hannah. Let's add some bling. We've got some brush metallic adhesive back dots. This is also in the suite. Okay. So you can see I've used tons of these already. So I'm going to just use my pick tool and I'm just going to add some different colors. We have a gold. Gold. I don't have any little golds, so I'm going to have to go big gold. Okay, there we go. All right. So that is card number 1. And on this one, the one I did earlier, the only difference here, you guys, is that those strips, I remembered to put them on underneath everything. So they went on underneath the wheat, underneath the flour. And so that works. I think you're quite right on this one being on top. It wouldn't have worked as well, right? So those are the 2 cards for today. Let me move all this stuff out of the way and hopefully you can see it. Move all the bits out of the way. And I'm going to try and raise my webcam, which can be scary for me. There we go. All right. Now, here's the exciting thing about my new platform. I'm going back over here. And here I am. So hopefully you can see me in a sec. Anyway, I want to thank you so much for coming today. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to be practicing with this platform a lot. So there may be some little quirks. When I was playing today, it kept dropping my webcam, which was a bit of a worry. But hey, it lasted the whole broadcast, so I'm really excited. Ta-da! Yes, ta-da. So thank you guys so much. So my next time live will be on Sunday at 10 a.m. So 10 a.m. on Sundays is my Sunday sketch. So if you visit my blog, stampcrazywithallison.ca, you will see on Sunday morning, you will see a blog post that has a Sunday sketch. And then I join you at 10 a.m. on Sunday and do a sketch. It might be that sketch, it might be a different sketch. Okay? So thank you so much, you guys. Have a great day and happy stamping.